Looks good. Okay. So my name is Sharon Kiburi. I'm a freelance data journalist, and it was a pleasure to just be in this class and learn how to use Tableau in a very interesting manner. So my focus on the story was on gender disparities, a focus on sexual harassment in the media workspace. Initially, I wanted to do a story about workspace discrimination and gender parities, and then I realized that it was a bit more difficult to get information about general workspace. So I decided to pivot and specialize generally on the media workspace, since at least there was an availability of data and it was easier to work with a focused space. Context, the media acts as a filter through which society sees itself, and it has an impact on what we think, believe, or do. So hence, the gender imbalance in the newsrooms, the same imbalances frequently manifest themselves in society, allowing gender stereotypes, pay disparities and sexual harassment. Well, according to a report of 2020 by the Media Monitoring Project report, it said that 24% of those had read the news or seen the news, that the majority of the people who they saw, 70% were men, either presenting or even being interviewed as experts, and very less, like almost 5% just to who are in other genders are sensitive. Sources, I had a very interesting conversation with very able sources, to begin with, like Catherine Gisheru, the founder of African Women Journalists Project, among other initiatives. She is a driving force behind innovative storytelling, journalism, fact-checking, cross-border reporting, and underrated issues. I also had a conversation with the editor of Talk Africa, Mary Mwendwa, who gave me a very interesting perspective of how working in the media space, she's had experience in the media space for more than 20 years. And through that, she's gone through from radio to TV, and she's had very different impact and experiences while working in the media spaces. And she gave me a very personal story, and also just the experiences of how she saw gender disparities during her work. I also interviewed a HR professional who's had 15 years experience in professional work as a human resource manager. So they gave me a very interesting perspective as well into how handling gender issues in an organization should go. I had a very interesting as well conversation with Leonida Mutuku, who's the founder of Intropaid. Intropaid is a business, it is an IR, artificial intelligence organization that actually helps businesses grow. And the reason I interviewed her as a lady, especially because in Kenya, it's such an interesting scenario to see a woman who's doing so much in the world of technology with such great might, and tackling actually machine learning and coding and subjects that are per se by society viewed to be more of male driven. Some of my data sources came from International Labor Organization, ILO, which you will see the visualizations in a few minutes. GSMA report, gender gaps on internet and mobile access. Women in News report, 2022. Prevalence of sexual harassment in the media. This report actually, it was so interesting. I was looking for more data, and then it just came out on 20th of January, and I was like, wow, that's like hell good timing. And then Media Council of Kenya survey that happened in 2020. Let me share some of the dashboards that I've done. This is one of the dashboards that I've worked on. This was in response, this was a Media Council actually survey report. And the question was—
Sorry, Sharon. Sorry, Sharon, we're not seeing it. So we see the last slide. I think sometimes you have to reshare if you're changing to another file. So maybe if you could just stop sharing and then reshare again, choosing the viz.
Okay. 1 second, I'm trying to reshare again.
Sure, no problem.
Yes,
Not yet.
not yet.
No.
Okay, it's coming. I need to minimize this. Can you see it?
Yes, looks good.
Okay, I'm so sorry for that technical glitch. So the first of the dashboards that I worked on was on this: how likely are you to experience sexual harassment or to see sexual harassment in your organization? And these are some of the responses. And this is one of the dashboards that I worked on. I need to stop sharing and share the next one as well.
Okay, we
Can
can
you
see.
see this?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. All right. So this was on gender gaps on mobile ownership and then internet access, according to a report by GSMA in 2020. All right, we're still developing on how we're going to put it all together with my mentor, but so far this is what we have. Let me share my other one. This is quite interesting. Great. Well, this was from the ILO report that was showing the difference between sexes and how they earn. I found out that there wasn't much here in terms of differences because the lines were a bit too flat in terms of the margin. But yeah, this is how the difference is so far from 2011 to 2021. I have one more dashboard that I need to share. Sharing it in a minute. Just can see it here.
Okay, we're still, there we go.
Yeah, this is the, sorry?
Yep, go ahead, it's good.
Okay, so this was also another one that we were showing the differences between people who said they're likely to experience sexual harassment through verbal abuse, or the percentages actually. And then this other one was showing much about physical. So you can tell that most people in the media industry, especially this was in Africa, overall report from Women in News. So this report showed that Africa, the percentage of the African countries that were actually the ones that were actually took part in this survey, this is the percentages of how men, women, and non-gender confining people. So 24 were men, 56 female, and then 50 for gender non-confining, conforming as a theme. So you can tell that probably verbal abuse is the most prevalent sexual harassment people experience more than physical. Not saying that physical is either better, none of them is, but that's some of the data that I have so far.